Good afternoon. The Committee on Water and Land is on its hearing notice of today, Wednesday, March 10th, in room 229. Just some housekeeping for all of us here and in Zoom land. I'd like to welcome you all as well. And this meeting, including the audio and the video of remote participants, is being streamed live on YouTube. You'll find links to reviewing options for all of our Senate meetings on the live and on-demand video page of the legislature's website. In the unlikely event that we have to abruptly end this hearing due to major technical difficulties, the Water and Land Committee will reconvene to discuss any outstanding business at 1 p.m. on Monday, March 15th in this room 229 and on YouTube. The public notice will be posted on the legislature's website if this hearing is to be delayed. And for those participating remotely via Zoom, the testifier audio is muted and video disabled until shortly before it is your turn to testify. And note that the time limit per testifier is 2 minutes. Members, let's start. Today's hearing notice are all resolutions and pretty much on submerged lands under DLNR. We'll proceed then with SCR 10, and this authorizing the issuance of a term non-exclusive easement covering a portion of state submerged lands at Ka'alawai, Honolulu, Oahu, for the existing seawall and for use, repair, and maintenance of the existing improvements constructed thereon. And for those of you who have not ever heard any bills regarding submerged lands under DLNR, just to let you know that any resolutions that come to the committee have already gotten approval by the board. And so just to let you know, Russell, Suji from DLNR, are you going to speak on the SCR 10?
Yes, I'll start off. Good afternoon, Chair Inoue and Vice Chair Agaran and members of the committee. Russell Suji for DLNR. But I also have with me on these resos several staff members from Land Division who are going to speak on certain ones. And also Sam Lemo from Office of Conservation and Coastal Lands to answer any questions that the board, the committee may have on the environmental due diligence side.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, you can proceed.
So the first one is for an easement primarily for footing for a wall. It's about 200 or so square feet. And we did, we had checked with OCCL on this one, and they were okay with granting an easement on this particular matter.
Okay, questions, anyone on the first SCR 10? Okay, hearing none, we'll zoom on continuously to SCR 11, and this is authorizing the issuance of a term non-exclusive easement covering a portion of state submerged lands at Waimanalo, Ko'olaupoko, Oahu, for the existing pier, seawall, and steps, and for the use, repair, and maintenance of the existing improvements constructed thereon. Russell?
Yeah, on this particular matter, as you can see, the title is Pier, Seawall, and Steps, but we actually originally only thought it was the pier. We had a revocable permit for a pier, which the board wanted us to convert to a long-term easement and get rid of the revocable permits. And so we did that, but during that process, we discovered additional areas that was encroaching within the submerged land area, which is including the seawall and steps. That's the background on this particular one.
Okay, all right. Let me see. And also, you have received payments already on this particular project?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. Any questions, members, on SCR 11? Then we'll proceed with SCR 12, and this is authorizing the issuance of a term non-exclusive easement covering a portion of state submerged lands at Kama'olikula, Maui, for the existing rubble rock revetment, rock wall, and 2 concrete stairways, and for use, maintenance, repair, replacement, and removal of the existing improvements constructed thereon. Similarly, Russ, you're taking this one as well?
Yes, this one, similar to the prior one, it started off with a revocable permit for a pier, and that's all we thought we were dealing with. But once we were converting that to an easement, we discovered additional areas that was within the submerged land area, and that's why we included the additional area for seawall and steps in addition to the pier. I have a Maui representative available if you have real specific questions, but
Okay.
just that OCCL was okay with it. Okay.
All right. So we are removing the revetment, right? Is that correct?
No, we're not removing the revetment.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. I thought I understood that revetment are temporary, but I guess for that particular site, it's okay, yeah?
Just depends, I think, Senator. Some revetments are in lieu of an actual wall, they put the revetment
Yeah, okay.
planted. But sometimes, yeah, often in Maui especially, there are a lot of revetments or temporary, like sandbags, I think
Right.
OCCL authorizes. It's supposed to be temporary, and we're supposed to follow up.
But it's okay? You guys checked on it and everything okay for this property then?
I believe so.
We checked on
Any
it.
comments on this one?
Okay.
Is Sam
Question?
on for this one too?
Yeah. Sam is on for all of them.
Yeah, I
Okay,
just-
Sam, Senator Agaran has a question for you, Sam?
So I was just curious about the comment in the testimony about public access being diminished if some of the structures were removed. So is that the only way to get to the shoreline for public?
I don't know that it's the only way, but it appears that the improvements there do facilitate public access to and through that area, and but that's not the only reason we were suggesting that it remain. I mean, it just, I think it's a partial encroachment situation, so even if you remove the portion encroaching, there would still be elements remaining in the shoreline area, and so I guess based on this and other reasons, we were okay in this particular case with allowing the encroachments to be converted into an easement.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Any other questions on SCR 12? Otherwise, members, we're going to proceed with next page, and we got SCR 13, and this authorize. Did someone say something? Okay, are we on 13? Steph? Okay,
I'm sorry.
yes.
I-
Nope.
My name is Cal Miyahara. I'm from the DLNR Land Division. I know we already passed SCR 11, but there was, I don't know if the protocols, but there was something that we wanted to change on SCR 11 to add another parcel. It was in the board submittal and it was approved, but it was inadvertently left out in the resol and the testimony.
Is that the Waimanalo Ko'ola Poko?
Yes, Senator.
Oh, okay. So that one later, you want an amendment?
Yes, we wanted
Okay,
to add another.
we'll come back to when we go into decision-making then.
Senator.
Yeah, no problem at all. SCR 13, and this authorizes the issuance of a perpetual non-exclusive easement covering a portion of state submerged lands at Mauna Lua, Honolulu, Oahu, for the existing storm drain and for use, repair, and maintenance of the existing improvements constructed thereon. And we got, Russ, are you on this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so this is a rather simple one. It is what it says. It's a county storm drain in the Wailuku area. OCCL had no involvement.
Okay, so it's only a formality from one entity to the city.
Yeah, it just happens to stick out in the submerged land area.
Right. Well, questions, members? And I think there's another place, yeah, with regards to storm drain. Let's proceed then with SCR 14, and this is authorizing the issuance of a perpetual non-exclusive easement covering a portion of state submerged lands at Kaneohe Ko'olau Oahu for the existing storm drain and for use, repair, and maintenance of the existing improvements constructed thereon. Okay, DLNR?
Okay. Yes, and this one, Chair, is another storm drain in the Kaneohe area. Again, issued to the, being proposed to be issued to the county, Honolulu.
Okay. Well, hope they're doing a good job in cleaning. We sure has been getting bad weathers. So I'm sure storm cleaning and maintenance is very important. Members, any questions on SCR 14? We'll proceed with SCR 15, and this is authorizing the issuance of a term non-exclusive easement covering a portion of state submerged lands at Napili 2 and 3, Lahaina, Maui, for the existing walkway and for use, repair, and maintenance of the existing improvements constructed thereon. Russell?
Yeah, and this one, Kevin Moore will be explaining to the committee.
Okay.
Vice Chair and committee members, Kevin Moore, Land Division.
Thanks, Kevin.
Now, we're basically adding 142 square feet of walkway easement to an existing easement in this area. They have to be separate easements for reasons we discussed in our testimony, but basically we support the reso and stand on our testimony. We're available for questions. Thank you.
Okay. All right, members, any questions on SCR 15? Okay, and I understand the general manager is available in case there's any questions with regards to Napili Kai Beach Resort. We'll then proceed with SCR 16, and that authorizing the issuance of term non-exclusive easements covering a portion of state submerged lands at Wai'ohuli Keokea in Kihei, Wailuku, Maui, for the existing seawall and for use, maintenance, and repair of the existing improvements constructed thereon. I think this is the one that, let's see, Ian, there's two different areas, yeah, with regards to this particular company. So let's continue on with SCR 16 then.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the committee.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Ian Hirokawa with DLNR Land Division. Yes. So to explain, basically this easement is actually covering, it's a parcel, but it's essentially been split into two CPR units, even though it's, it's like a single family residence parcel. It's been split into two CPR units, so both owners are working with us to resolve the encroachment. What it is we have a prior easement that was approved by the board, paid for, and approved by the legislature that covers essentially the middle of the seawall structure, and since then, they've discovered additional encroachments both seaward of that existing easement area, and because the shoreline has now migrated inland, the remainder of the seawall Mauka of the existing easement, the already approved easement area. So what we're trying to do is add on essentially the two additional areas, both Makai and Mauka, for each CPR unit to their easements, so we can complete it, adding on those additional areas.
Okay, we're kind of late on this one, yeah. I have a question. I understand, has the appraisal been done yet?
Yes, the appraisal for all the easements have been done, and the owners have paid for all the outstanding easement areas. So everything's been appraised and paid for already.
Oh, okay, because most of the other projects, the SCRs, indicate the payments made. But this SCR, you know, on page 2, it says the grantees shall pay the fair market value. So I'm just wondering, but you did say they did the appraisal, payments were received. How much was received, because the others indicate the amount paid?
I think it was like about 19,000 for each unit, but I can double check and confirm the number for you.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, because, yeah, this one is already a done deal, so, you know, you're gonna have, if we send this over, you're gonna be asked of the same question, have the payment made? So, let's see how we're going, if we need to change it, because everything is settled on this one, yeah, on SCR 16.
Correct.
Okay.
In the last sentence, second to the last sentence of our testimony, we have 19,700 and 19,200, CPR 1 and 2.
Oh, on your testimony, Russell?
Yeah, the second to the last sentence, right above, has the CPR and the amounts.
Apologize, I missed that in the testimony. Apologize about that.
No,
Yeah, but it's not in the bill, yeah? I mean, the result.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. So, okay, when we go into deliberation of what we're gonna do, we'll check with my members as well, because I'd like to make this really a good bill, a good result. Because you have it in the testimony, but you don't have it in the Senate, yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna be asked the same question again at the House. Okay.
Oh, we appreciate it. Yeah. What actually happened, to give you background as to, the result initially went in 2019, but because of a weird committee assignment, it never got heard. So I think it just needs to be updated.
Yeah.
Then, you know,
okay.
They've resolved it. Yeah.
All right. Sure. If we can, yeah, I think I'd like to send clean stuff over. And since you guys have already got the due diligence and it's noted in the testimony, we can work on it as we proceed. Thanks, Ian, and thanks, Russell, for pointing that out, because for some reason I missed that one. Okay, let's then proceed. That was SCR 16, am I correct? Okay, SCR 17. And this authorizes the issuance of a term, non-exclusive easements covering a portion of state submerged lands at Waiahuli, Keokea Homesteads, Kihei, Maui, for the existing seawall, rock revetment, and concrete steps, and for use, repair, and maintenance of the existing improvements and constructed thereon. Russ, who's handling this one?
Well, I'll try to.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the Maui one again, and we, as it knows, it's just existing seawall, revetment, concrete steps, and that's what we're asking the easement for. We did check with OCCL on this one, and it's noted in our testimony. I don't have anything to add.
Okay, it seems like this one is only a matter of transferring to the new property, right? Because it's already been approved, and then the previous owner sold it, so I guess that's all it is, right?
Uh, I don't, is Seiko, and let me ask Seiko, my staff.
Yeah,
member, is she on-
I think
is
that's
she
the
on?
case
Yeah.
with this one. I think it's just transferring the name change, I think, because it's been sold. Okay, go ahead.
But I don't know if we had ledge approval.
Russell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't need ledge approval, right?
Who's
It
that?
needs ledge approval. It's not just a transfer of ownership.
Right.
It hasn't been approved by the legislature yet.
Yeah, I think that's what, how I read this one as well. And is this Seiko? Who's
Yes,
on?
good afternoon, Terry Noy.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, just to confirm, I think it looks like it's just the transfer of the ownership, which seems like no problem. Members' questions on SCR 17? Okay, let's proceed then with SCR. And we do have the owner is available, sent testimony, and I think her testimony is giving backgrounds as well as similarly to the background we received from DLNR. Members, do you have questions of the owner? Otherwise, I have no questions for her, but if we need to, she is on standby. SCR 18, this is authorizing the issuance of a term non-exclusive easements covering a portion of state submerged lands at Wai'ohuli, Keokea homesteads, and the beach lots in Kihei, Maui, for the existing seawall and rock revetment and for use, repair, maintenance of the existing improvements constructed thereon. Okay, Russell?
On this Maui one that we also included in the testimony, it looks like the county had issued a building permit for the walls. It was approved by the government authority, just not by the board and for any area that was within the shoreline. So OCCL was okay with this easement, and we asked that the board, the committee, approve this particular one.
Yeah, and then this one looks like a change of ownership and transfer as well, if I read this correctly.
There was a change, yes.
Yeah, so it's just a formality then, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, was there?
Russell, can I say something?
Yes.
Sure.
The property was sold while we were completing the easement process, and so that's why there's a change of ownership, but it still needs to be approved by the legislature
Right.
for the easement.
Right.
Usually the ledge is the last step.
Right, and then before Gov, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, any questions on SCR 18? Let's move on then to SCR 19, and this is authorizing the issuance of a term non-exclusive easement covering a portion of state submerged lands at Mauna Lua, Honolulu, Oahu, for the existing seawall and for use, repair, and maintenance of the existing improvements constructed thereon. Russell?
Yeah, on this one as well, we consulted OCCL and they were supportive of the disposition. As noted in our testimony, I don't have anything to add to our testimony. We tried to cover items that we thought the committee would be interested in knowing. It's not normally in the resolution itself.
Right. And I think it's just a matter of making sure that it's all documented. And I think this one, members, I think I read this reso as appraisal. Is this the one that, has the appraisal been done? Payments made?
This one looks like it's pending, yeah. It hasn't been done yet.
It's pending. But, okay.
But
So
this
you,
is the, if I recall, the Wailupe area. And I
right.
expect a problem collecting the rent from this entity, the Daisho company. Yeah.
All right, well, So it's in the works. The other one was already paid. We need to make a change on the SCR. This one is pending. Okay, we can discuss this, members, as we move along. Otherwise, we can pass it and you guys, Russell, make the changes when it goes to the House. If your approval, I mean, if the payments have been received, then
Yeah.
otherwise, okay.
There will be, by law, they're required to pay fair market value, and if we
Right.
do by approval, and they pay, if they don't pay it, then that, they'll be in trouble, they won't get the easement, that's for sure.
Right, but they gotta do the appraisal first, right?
No.
They gotta do the
Before
appraisal.
Before the ledge approval, we can, I mean, it can be subject to the appraisal amount, I mean, at fair market value. I mean,
Okay.
And if, again, if, we've had those approved before in the past where the appraisal just happens to come in later.
Right,
But I assure you, if they don't pay the value that is determined by the appraiser, then we will not issue the easement.
okay, then maybe this one here, we can flag it in the committee report. And we'll talk about it during decision-making. Just make sure that we address that the appraisal is forthcoming, and just so that it moves out and go to the House, so the House is aware. They probably will ask you, but in the meantime, you can be prepared with your responses as well on SCR 19. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, questions on SCR 19? Let's proceed with SCR 42 then, and this is authorizing the issuance of a lease covering state submerged lands at Pier 27 in Honolulu Harbor, Oahu, to Atlantis Submarines Hawai'i LLC, and is okay, is this the one for Derek Chow, DOT?
Yes,
Hi-
ma'am.
Hi,
Good
Derek,
afternoon.
how are you?
Okay, fine, thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, Chair Inoy, Vice Chair Agaran. This is Derek Chow. I'm the Deputy Director for the Department of Transportation Harbors Division. We stand in support of this resolution, and I'm available for questions.
Okay, since we did move them from one pier that they had and move them to our other Kapalama, the new container terminal, so they really, so does the agreement then just carries over? Maybe DLNR can answer.
No, ma'am, so we
Is-
will be striking a new lease with them
Okay,
for proposed 35 years, and we will be going to the land board with that. Over.
okay. So, staff, make sure we highlight this one on the committee report. We'll like to highlight that, Derek. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
that
Yes, ma'am.
there's probably some language that we're going to ask you to give to the committee. So, actually, this is DOT, so DLNR is not in this particular project, right?
That's correct, ma'am. This
Okay.
is lands within the harbor.
Right. Okay, interesting, because in 2008, when we did the project for the entire Kapalama, I was still here. We discussed this, and this is 2021, but I'm glad we're making improvements now to the harbor and to Kapalama.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, and sorry that you weren't able to attend last week.
I know, we're doing the people's work here too, you know.
I know, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation anyway, sorry I missed it. Let's proceed then, and members, Ron Williams is available in case we have questions, but I'm glad they're moving over to the new side. Let's proceed then with SCR 58, and this authorizing the sale of lease of certain submerged lands at Kaneohe Bay, Kaneohe, Oahu, for non-commercial boat pier purposes by public auction. Who's doing this one? Ed Underwood?
Yes, hello, Chair Noy, Vice Chair Agaran, committee members, Ed Underwood, Administrator with the Division of Boating and Ocean Recreation. And the department stands in support of this, and we're here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, have you guys put it out to auction yet?
We have not put it out to auction yet, however, we did have the appraisal completed. So we're ready to go once we have approval from the legislature.
Okay, can you give us a number that was, or we can't? Is it still
Yeah,
in
well,
procurement?
I believe the upset bid came in, the upset amount is $150,000 a year.
Great. Take it.
Yes.
Yes, we need monies in your department. Okay, good job. I'm glad it became available to you folks. Any questions on SCR 58? Let's see. You know, members and my good vice chair, with regards to SCR 58, we really don't need the SR, you know, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, okay, we'll just defer the SR 40 then. Okay, members, any questions of all these submerged lands before us? Hearing none, then we'll go into decision making. And DLNR, please stand by, yeah, because we're gonna need language for, was it, Ian, was that SCR 13?
11, I think.
Oh, 11, which is the one we need to change? Carolyn?
Sure.
Oh, 11,
SCR
yeah?
11.
Yeah, okay, my vice chair says it's SCR 11, so,
We would like to add to the resolution and to the testimony, also parcel 013. Right now it says CRED of 011. We'd like to put N 013.
okay, 1 second, because we need to make those changes. 1 second.
Chair.
Okay, we're not going to go into recess because we're still dealing with the department, so we'd like to make sure before we make final decisions. Okay, so you have to tell me what line we're going to make the changes to and the language to add. 1 second. Okay, go ahead, and who's talking?
Callan,
Oh, okay, all right,
On the resolution,
yes.
line 2.
Wait, now, hold on what line? First page?
Page 1, line 2, where it says 4-1.
Okay, hold on, I'm lost. Okay, the first page, line, did you say line 2?
Yeah, he
Chair.
said line 2.
Okay, and then, what else?
It begins with 4-1
Right.
-001
Okay,
colon 011, and we'd like to put in and 013.
oh, okay, and 013, okay,
And in the testimony, in our
yes,
testimony, line 3, first paragraph,
hold on, is that the chair case's testimony? Okay,
as chair.
okay, and on what page?
Page 1,
Okay.
first paragraph,
Okay,
line 3, it begins tax map key, parenthesis 1, and it says 4-1-001,
okay,
colon, C-word of 011, and we'd like to add and 013.
and 013. Okay, 1 second. So we need to add the TMK, am I correct? On the TMK, we got 001, 011, and 013.
Also, if you go back to the resolution
Yes,
on page 2,
yes,
line 5, same
Okay.
addition.
all right. Oh, so we got to add 013 then.
013 to line 5 and also line 31.
And line 31. Okay. Okay, that's it for this one?
Yes, Chair Noy.
Okay, all right. Okay, there was another, what did I say that we had an issue with?
I think that was SCR Chair 16.
15?
16, 16.
16. Oh, yes, okay. Now, let's see. What are we going to do with that one?
I think on, if I may, on page 2, line 24 and 25, where it talks about the fair market value.
Yeah, hold on, 1 second, let me get mine. Okay. First page?
Second page.
Second page, okay.
Starting with 24.
Yeah, I have that circled. Okay, all right, go ahead.
And currently, it says, whereas the grantees shall pay
Right,
the fair market value. We can, I guess we could say, the grantees paid the fair market value, so the grantees paid the fair market value of the easements, comma, in the amounts of $19,700 and
19,000 what?
19,700
Okay,
and 19,200 for CPR 0001.
CPR 0001 and 2 as well?
Yeah, and 2
Okay.
respectively. Yeah.
Okay,
So that's, yeah.
okay, so it's past tense then, the grantees paid, P-A-I-D.
Yes. And Ian, the testimony says paid, so that's correct, right, Ian? Just to confirm.
They have paid.
Yeah, okay.
P-A-I-D?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. In the amount of $19,700 and $19,200 on CPR 0001 and CPR 002. Do we need to add the language of inure to the benefit of? We need to add that language?
Where are you?
No, you know when we mentioned the cost? So 19,000, after $19,200,
Right.
we have to say to the benefit of CPR, right? On the correct language.
You can.
Okay,
You can say
we'll
that.
let our
It is just paying
drafters.
the fair market value.
Okay, all right, we'll have our staff come up with the line. Anything else on that SCR 16? That's it?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And then there was one that I mentioned about probably doing a recognizing in the committee report. You guys remember with which one? 19. Okay, and that we will say action, Russell, the language for SCR 19, recognizing that the owners have not done the appraisal and the payments yet. Shall we say, you want to give us some language?
we have the
Chair Inouye,
Yeah,
this is Cal,
Hi, Cal.
Miyahara again. This is my case, SCR 19.
okay,
Currently, we're in the appraisal section of the process.
Okay.
The applicant just paid us the monies to go ahead and have the appraisal done. So we do not have a fair market value yet. We don't have an appraisal report yet.
oh, okay.
I just went out to the appraiser to proceed with the appraisal process. So we have no determination yet.
Okay,
Some suggested language on the reso, maybe,
Well, Chair, I think the resolution language is fine. I think in the committee
It's okay.
report, you should just specifically note that, fair market value is being determined by
Okay.
appraisal.
okay, that sounds good. And I think we can take it out too from the justification sheet, which I had circled as a question on page 2.
Yeah.
The grantee shall pay the state the fair market value of the non-exclusive easements as consideration.
Right.
Okay, okay, so the grantee shall pay the state. They've already paid, yeah, you said,
No, the
No,
DA,
they just,
just an agreement, okay.
they just paid for it
Oh, the
to
appraisal.
hire the appraiser.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we'll recognize that in the committee report, all right?
here.
And that's SCR 19, okay. Okay, and I'm just gonna recommend that we defer. You guys wanna go through it, or you wanna, shall we go over again? You ready?
Yeah, I think we're ready.
Okay, all right.
Did you have amendments to 58?
I beg your pardon?
Were you making amendments to 58?
Steph?
I think it was for 42 language, Department of Transportation, something.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, what, did I make notes on it? Okay, Derek? Derek Chow, DOT, you're still there? Derek,
He's there.
unmute yourself, Derek. No, that wasn't 58, right?
No, he's on, he's 42.
Yeah, he's on his 42. Derek, can you hear us? You gotta unmute yourself. Oh, okay. Huh?
Working on it.
Yeah. IT, are you on? Can we,
Ma'am, I'm here.
oh, okay, all right. Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right. What did we decide to do with 42 SCR?
There was no discussion. We primarily are going through a formality just so that we can go to the land board to approve this lease for the submarines, Atlantis.
Okay. Did we have a question on that? I think we're okay, huh, with the, we're okay with the bill, I mean the reso? Okay.
Ma'am, the
So-
resol just seeks to allow us to
Right,
proceed.
Okay, all right. And we'll do it as is. Okay. Members, you guys want to go into decision-making, or shall we just proceed
You can
since
just
we got
proceed.
this? Okay, Bennett, are you all ready? You're okay?
Ready?
Okay.
Yes, I'm fine.
All right,
I'm
we
listening.
won't go into decision-making. We already have consulted with the changes we need, and I think that looks good for us. So, one second, let me, all right. Can you, Steph, just to make sure that we're in the same page? Nikki, all the ones, the voting sheets that you gave Senator, okay, are they, there's going to be changes, yeah? Okay, are we still the same as is?
Yes.
Okay, Okay,
SCR 11, we are adding that language.
okay. All right, I have to get back to that page then, yeah. Okay. With amendments. Okay. Okay, and then?
And then SCR 16. So all the elements are here.
Okay.
SCR 16,
Okay,
we're gonna add the amendments.
okay.
And then SCR.
That was the amendment. Oh, I gotta read that, Joe. Okay. Okay, all right.
Then SCR 19.
Okay. 18 and 19, okay, in the committee report. This one here,
Yes.
that's in the committee report. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Committee on Water and Land is going into decision-making with regards to the agenda items on Wednesday, March 10th. Members will proceed then with SCR 10. Chair's recommendation is, one second. Is to pass this measure as is. Any discussion? Okay, Vice Chair for the vote. Chair goes aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Misalucha?
Aye.
Senator Revere is excused. Senator Favela? Senator Favela?
Aye, sorry.
Thank you. Your recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. For SCR 11, and this is the submerged lands at Waimanalo, Ko'olaupoko, Oahu for the existing pier in SCR. Chair's recommendation is we pass this measure with amendments. And members, we're looking at the amendments on page 1. Line 2 will add to the TMK next to 011, we're going to add the text map key of 4-1-001-013. And that's on that page, as well as another amendment on page 2. We're looking at line 5, adding the TMK there as well. After TMK ending in 011, we're going to add 013. Recognizing that change is also going to be on line 31. After the TMK 011, we're going to add 013. And I believe that's all. DLNR, am I correct? That's all the amendment. Oh, all right. Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair goes aye.
All right, with 4 members present, any reservations? Any opposition? Recommendations adopted.
Okay, and to make life easy for my vice chair, chair's recommendation that we're going to take the 3 SCR 12, SCR 13, and SCR 14, we're going to pass those measures as is. Chair's recommendation as is, Chair goes aye.
Okay, with 4 members present, are there any reservations, any opposition? The recommendation is adopted.
Okay, thank you. SCR 15, and this is, Chair's recommendation is to pass it with an SD1, and it's only for technical and non-substantive amendments. Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, okay, Chair votes aye.
With 4 members present, any reservations? Any opposition? Recommendations adopted.
Okay, thank you. On SCR 16. Okay. Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Let's see. Okay, the amendments are on SCR 16 is on page 2, on lines 24, where you have, we will say that whereas the grantees delete the word shall and pay is paid the fair market value as determined by independent appraisal, and in the amount of $19,700 and $19,200 for CPR, for the benefit of CPR 001 and 002 respectfully. Any discussions? Hearing none, Chair recommends that we pass SCR 16 with amendments. Chair votes aye.
Okay, with 4 members present, any reservations? Any opposition? Recommendations adopted.
Okay, thank you. Again, we will take SCR 17 and SCR 18 and SCR 19, SCR 42 together. Chair's recommendation is to pass these measures. Again, SCR 17, SCR 18, SCR 19, and SCR 42 as is. Any discussion? Hearing none, Chair votes aye.
Okay, with 4 members present, any reservations? Any opposition? Your recommendation is adopted.
Okay, SCR 58, Chair's recommendation is to pass this with an SD1. It's only for technical and non-substantive amendments on SCR 58. Okay, Chair votes aye.
Okay, with 4 members present, any reservations? Any opposition? Recommendation is adopted, Chair.
Okay, we will defer SR 40. That's not necessary because it's already covered in SCR 58, which is the legal document that needs to move. Okay, thank you, members. Thank you so much, and thank you for those in Zoom land. Thank you, DLNR and DOT. Okay, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.